Hey, my Liptons. So I wanted to do a quick video before I go to bed because your girl is tired. But I want to bring you some wrestling community news. And y'all, please mind the noise in the background. But why are y'all spreading rumors about Stephanie and Triple H's marriage, y'all? Why are y'all doing that? So if y'all don't know, and I first heard, and it's don't get me wrong, listen. I personally, for me, I like Vince Russo, and I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I do like him. Like with me, I like a variety of different people within the wrestling. Just people that talk about wrestling, that have podcasts and different things. Like I listen to everybody. Like legit, I listen to Jim Cornette. I listen to Eric Bischoff's 83 Weeks. I listen to Vince Russo. Like sometimes I'll dibble and dabble into what Kurt Angle's channel is saying. Jr. Jeff Jarrett, all those different people. I listen to everybody. So it's just because I just want to get information from everybody. I don't want to be like, and even though I can be, obviously everybody is to a certain extent, but like I don't want to be biased toward a certain person just because, oh, this person said this and this person said that. At the end of the day, all these people have their opinions, and whether you take it or leave it. Like it is what it is. And that's just me. But I do like Vince Russo, but I will say this though. I was watching Wrestle Binge with Sports Kita, and I was watching the Legion of Raw review with Vince Russo and Chris Featherstone, or Chris Featherstein, I'm forgetting his last name. And I think in the beginning of the show, Vince Russo brought up that, oh, didn't he, like, there's trouble in paradise allegedly, between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, that he said this a year ago, but you know, nobody really paid attention. Stephanie McMahon hasn't worn her wedding ring in a minute. And when I first heard that yesterday, I was like, because I didn't see it trending or anything like that. That's the thing. Usually, like a kind of news like that, it will be trending. Like a lot of people will be talking about it. So I went on Twitter and I was going through the trending topics, and I did not see this news as the trending topic. So I was like, where the hell did Vince Russo get this shit from? So I ended up, Googling it, and there's a few, like, honestly, this is honestly more so dirt sheet article. There's no shade. I'm sorry, y'all. Wrestling news is no shade, but I had to keep it. I had to keep it aside. But it's more dirt sheet writers, speculating, and honestly, sometimes these dirt sheets like to, write articles based on what people be saying on Twitter and making a whole thing out of it. And from what I've gathered, the reason why people think that there's trouble in paradise between Stephanie and Triple H is because apparently Shawn Michaels liked a tweet having to deal with right here. It says here Shawn Michaels liked a tweet from someone that said the following: "Why should he give the company to his daughter?" Talking about Vince to Stephanie. It's his company. He built it. If he wants to cash out, then let him. And Stephanie hardly proved she can run the company. Just look at how she treated Dusty after he owned her in a promo, and how she keeps claiming credit for the women's revolution. And I don't know if I'm just trying to say whatever, trying to keep it whatever, try to keep it positive. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually think that Shawn Michaels like that tweet by accident. Like, we cannot sit here and act as if we don't, like, especially when we're going through a certain topic on Twitter and things like that. And we can sometimes be scrolling through, and then we want to swipe or go up and go down. There were times I be liking some comments that are like really weird, and it's like, oh, let me go back and unlike it. Or like sometimes I might forget, and I'll go back on Twitter, I'll go back to my likes, and I'll see like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know I liked this tweet, and then I will unlike it. So that happens all the time. I personally, for me, I don't believe that Shawn Michaels. First of all, I don't even think Shawn Michaels is that internet savvy like that. That's number one. I do not think he's internet savvy like that. So I really do believe that he unintentionally liked this tweet. I also think that, at the end of the day, Shawn Michaels and Triple H are best friends, like besties, like through thick and thin. I don't think that he would like a tweet about his best friend's wife publicly, especially something that is negative about her. And like, that's the mother of his best friend's kids. his wife, like, even if they're going through a divorce, I don't, Shawn Michaels is too old school for this shit, okay? They're not, maybe there is some old heads that do shit like this, but majority of them don't do shit like this, okay? So I definitely believe that it was an unintentional like. I think if people were to give Shawn Michaels the, hey, you like this tweet, right? I think he would go back and unlike it, but I don't think he liked it on purpose. But so that's what kind of set it off. And then, people are like, oh, you know, she's home and Triple H is there, but but Triple H doesn't have an executive position anymore, blah blah blah. First of all, are y'all blame like, and I don't. Let me be very clear. All of this is allegedly. I am also speculating myself. I don't. Okay. Let me just come to their defense first, and then I'm gonna do the devil's advocate stuff. Y'all are saying, oh, he doesn't have an executive position. First of all, I feel like that had nothing to do with stuff. All of that has to do with Vince. Vince is the one that did not sell his company to his kids. Like, for his kids and his grandkids to build generational wealth. Vince is an egomaniac. So instead of y'all making conspiracy, oh, the reason why Triple H doesn't have an executive role is because, him and Stephanie would be. First of all, if that was the case, why would Vince still have Triple H in the company right now? And mind you, now Endeavor owns WWE, majority of it. And Vince and Ari Emanuel are besties. So Vince at any moment could have told Ari Emanuel, listen, get rid of this Triple H guy. He did this shit to my daughter. I don't want him in my face. And even before he sold the company, even before that, why didn't Vince could have fired his son-in-law at any moment? Like, if he did some wild shit like that or something. Or like, I don't know. I feel like in general, Vince McMahon didn't want his children or his in-laws to have the company, and therefore he downgraded their roles. And Stephanie wasn't having it. And people are like, oh, well, but why did Stephanie leave the company? Did she leave the company because she was having marriage issues? I'm gonna be honest with you, and like I said, I'm taking their defense first, and then I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I think, personally, for me, I think the reason why Stephanie left the company is because when the whole scandal came out, Vince left and then he came back in. I think that put a bad taste in Stephanie's mouth, because let's be very clear. You know, Stephanie, her dad is, first of all, is being investigated, and then on top of that, he cheated on he cheated on her mother. He cheat again. That's not even like a thing. Again. You know what I mean? Vince cheated on Linda again, and I think that Stephanie is at a place where she doesn't want to be around her dad or want his energy around her, and I think she's mad. I think that she's upset. Even if you guys go back to, there's an old Howard Stern interview about, and I think I need to do some reactions to that on my channel, because y'all, Howard Stern, like the WWE and Howard Stern crossover, y'all. Some of those interviews, y'all, and I'm going so off topic right now, but some of those interviews, y'all, them shits, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, Howard, oh my God, why would you say things like this? But I think I might do some reactions to those old, and I know Howard Stern is like, he's trying to be reformed and everything, but it's like, sir, like, but no, like, some of the WWE stuff with Howard Stern was crazy. Like, some of the wild shit that was being said there. But no, going back to what I was saying. When Stephanie did an interview with Howard Stern, I think back in 2002, Howard Stern asked her, because even back then, years ago, and obviously Vince admitted it again in 2001 that he had previously cheated on Linda in the past, and that he told her about it. Like, he didn't even like hide it. He told her, like, that's how, like, freaking no heart that Vince, that's the no empathy that Vince has. So Howard Stern asked Stephanie, he was like, oh, like, how did you feel, like, when your dad admitted to, like, cheating on Linda? So Stephanie was like, oh, at first, like, I was really upset and everything, like, I was mad, but, it is what it is, like, I forgave him, but, like, and I'm paraphrasing here, But it's like she still felt like it's like, okay, Dad, like you can stop talking about it publicly now. It was years ago, like stop talking about it. So Stephanie, while yes, she is her father's daughter, but when it comes to things like that and like doing her mother dirty, I think that Stephanie takes her mother's side. So I think that when this whole scandal happened and and everything, I think Stephanie genuinely didn't want to be around her father. I just think that's what it is. I think that she didn't want to be around him, and I think that she got wind that he was selling the company, and like he wasn't gonna give it to her, or at least Shane, because they grew up in this company. They worked hard to make sure that the father thinks that they're worthy enough to earn the company. So I think that when all of that mixed in together, she was just like, you know what, I'm out of here. You're not gonna be wasting my time. I don't put literally my blood, sweat, and tears into this company too, and you're gonna make it seem as if me or my brother Shane ain't earned this shit. Fuck you, I'm out. So that's why I think that she left. Now, to go back, now to look at it from a devil's advocate standpoint, from what people are saying. People are like, oh, well, Triple H and like Stephanie apparently wasn't seen with a wedding ring, even though I'm like, okay, and there are many married couples that don't. Sometimes they don't wear their wedding rings and things like that. It's like they don't like how it feels. Sometimes, especially with the circulation stuff. So it's and they're still happily married. So I don't know. People are saying that, and then people are like, oh well, you know. But that's the thing. That's the only reasoning I'm hearing. But that's what I think. That's what Vince Russo said. Oh well, Stephanie wasn't seen with a wedding ring on multiple occasions, and I'm like, okay, like, is that means all of a sudden, boom, divorce? Like there are a bunch of Let me give you one example. I think recently, it was maybe a month or 2 months ago. I think Meghan Markle. I think she wasn't seen with her. She still had the wedding band, but she didn't have like the ring. And I remember the media were like, oh my God. Is it the British media, to be more specific, because American media doesn't care about shit like that. But like the British media was like, oh my God, like, trouble in paradise for Harry and Meghan. Da, 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 da. And it's just like, and then by the next thing like the next month they were seen together in Germany and things like that. And they're still happily married. And it's just like, I don't know. I just don't think that's a viable argument unless we get full-blown proof. Statements like, hey, me and Paul are divorcing. We're gonna work on co-parenting, things like that. Until I see that, honestly, y'all, I'm not believing that they're divorcing. I'm not believing it. I'm not, because I don't right now. The excuses that are given are she's not wearing her wedding ring and Shawn Michaels liked the tweet. And from what I've seen and what I'm hearing, especially from Nick Hausman, he basically said that he liked the tweet unintentionally. So I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna give this rumor a lot of. Take it with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt, y'all, because it's like, especially with Stephanie, I feel like y'all be creating rumors around Stephanie, y'all. Like, I don't know. And don't get me wrong, Stephanie, she's, but like, y'all be creating some crazy ass rumors when it comes to Stephanie, like the whole Macho Man thing, which I don't believe. Y'all can be mad that I said. I know a good amount of the internet believes that shit. I do not believe that the thing with Macho Man and Stephanie happened. If y'all know what I'm talking about. And then now this is like, and especially with the whole Triple H thing, I think it's more serious compared to the Macho Man thing, because it's like Triple H and Stephanie, they've been married for years and years and years. They have kids together, and it's like, you don't want them to get divorced, especially when children are involved in things like that. So if it is true, hopefully they work it out. They go to therapy. They figure something out. But lastly, before I get off this topic, I feel like if Triple H and Stephanie were going through marital issues, I don't see why Triple H will be on the road and doing creative and doing things like that with WWE. It's like, wouldn't he be home trying to work out his marriage and work out the problems with stuff? Like, this is why I don't know. I give this story a grain of salt. Take this story with a grain of salt, y'all. I don't, because personally for me, I don't believe it, but I could be wrong. But then again, it's like, even if they are having marital issues, is Stephanie the type to leave her husband to file for divorce because it's like, look at her mother. Her Linda didn't accepted all the bullshit from Vince and still stayed, and still, this marriage at this point is like I don't know, like a marriage of convenience or something with Linda and Vince McMahon. So I don't know, but who knows? Maybe is Stephanie not her mother's daughter? Is she gonna take that step, or is she gonna stay? I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. But I wish Stephanie and Triple H all the best in the world though, because this is crazy. I need to stop making these kind of rumors up. It's crazy as hell. But lastly, I do want to talk about Jade Cargill before I leave. So it is official. She did sign with WWE. And from what I've seen, she is going to the main roster. I didn't see, in a way, I didn't see it any other way when it comes to her going to the main roster, because it's like, I don't think that she will feel comfortable going to NXT, because NXT is not, it's not Raw. It's not SmackDown. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully she does an interview as to why she left AEW. It is weird. I don't know. Like, was it the money? Was it the, she felt like she wasn't being trained properly? I don't know. But I do want to know her reasoning as to why she left AEW, because I do think it's kind of interesting, because you would think that, the people that go to AEW always brag, oh, we have more freedom and more, we can do what we want, creative freedom, and, we can do the spots and the blood and the. And it's like, one of your, the homegrown AEW talent is going to WWE. So hopefully we get an interview from her. And I know some people are excited. They want to see a Bianca Belair and the thing, the dream matches and stuff. We'll see what happens. Hopefully she gets better in the ring. Hopefully they train her. And hopefully she understands that this is a different structure. WWE is a different structure. It's a different kind of entity compared to, like, AEW is disorganized. Okay, they're disorganized. They're not. That's why the inmates are running the asylum. In WWE, that's not the case, sweetie. There's no inmates, bitch. You will be in the cell, and then you will be called out when it's time to eat. And I'm not trying to compare. No shade. I'm not trying to compare it to prisons, but it's a figure of speech, metaphor, for what I'm trying to say. But yeah, like, yeah. So it is interesting though. We wish Jade Cargill the best. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. How do you guys feel about this whole Stephanie McMahon and Triple H rumor? Is there trouble in paradise? How do you guys feel about Jade Cargill going to WWE? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Let's subscribe. Let's get up to 700 subscribers, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.